This happened a long time ago and I was pretty much silent about it. Until today, I guess. I have a story to tell you on how I almost got banned from TDS, and I don't mean the game itself, but rather just the Discord server. Although I know at least one case of a person getting banned or rather wiped from the game due to them breaking rules in the Discord server. But to start off with anything, we have to go back to 2021, where I think the relations between me and staff have been getting a little more tense. On January 28, 2021, I released a video that went into detail about the Riha admin tower. I didn't think much about this video, I just published it, and at the time I did not know that Bello himself didn't want this tower to be, talked about. So, after I released that video, I was DM'd by TDS moderator and one TDS administrator basically telling me to take the video down. Basically because Bello doesn't want the tower to be, public. Instead of privating the video, what I did was ask Bello himself, privately. And while I was waiting for Bello to respond, I got a very interesting message from one of the community members. Remove the video on the Riha right now, otherwise, under the order of Bello Natural, you will be banned from TDS Discord. Not going to lie, this message at the time was kinda worrisome to me, but today it just seems kinda hilarious. And you guys wanna know why? Because Bello himself was fine with the video. As long as there was no gameplay shown, Bello was fine with the video staying up. There was no gameplay shown in the video, the only thing that was shown was one screenshot. This topic of Riha was never brought back again, but I think it was the moment that staff members took a closer eye on the type of content I started making and how I behaved within the TDS Discord, and not only the TDS Discord. Well, thankfully that was quickly resolved. Hopefully I will not land into any more drama within TDS. March is the time where drama started escalating because what I did was basically, and I will admit to it, basically make fun of TDS not updating for a long time. I was very critical about TDS back then, but mind you, this was the time between Halloween 2020 and first invasion events. So by critical, I mean very critical about TDS. And as you can guess, higher-ups did not like some of my comments that I've made. What I found disturbing was the fact that there'd been screenshots of me criticizing TDS from other Discord servers, and pretty much make me explain why I was doing it. I was even contacted by Hardeted, which I covered in the previous video, basically ordering me to stop TDS in their Discord and also other Discord servers. I wish I had more DMs with the guy, but his user is deleted, so I cannot access his old DMs. This is the only one I have saved. I also have to mention that at the time, I was told that I wouldn't get banned for saying that TDS is in other Discord servers. Although I would have to be constructive in the TDS Discord itself not to get in trouble. At least to my understanding. Which I followed. Until May of 2021, where all hell broke loose on me. You might wonder what happened in May. Well, on that day, there was supposedly First Invasion release date announcement to be published by the devs. So I was waiting for it to release. And then suddenly, it got delayed. To be clear, the update date did not get delayed at the time. What got delayed was the announcement regarding update release. Confusing? Well, it's about to get even more confusing soon. So, what happened when it got delayed? Well, saying I got annoyed would be an understatement. The announcement regarding it was delayed. So I made a video basically bashing TDS for managing to even delay an announcement. I'll admit that video wasn't the best, since while making it, I was basically both annoyed and disappointed at the same time. And I got into a huge argument with some of staff members after I published that video. The main points in the argument against me was the fact that I was warned a lot of times before about me posting non-constructive criticism and bashing TDS, which is true. I did that back then, and it's a valid argument. They also mentioned the fact that the video, that is already privated by the way, was spreading misinformation, which was untrue. Despite all the hate within that video I made, it was clear in the video that the update itself was not delayed. Only the announcement date was delayed. But apparently that video was misinformation, according to higher-ups, even though it wasn't. And they also mentioned the fact that I was apparently making fun of the developers while knowing full well that they were in some hard times, which is entirely untrue and just makes me kind of offended. There's a difference between making fun of decisions that the developer made and making fun of the devs directly. While I might have made fun of delays that developers made, I have never made fun of a developer directly. I might sometimes sound negative towards TDS as a whole, but I respect the developers and the work they've put into the game. What I don't respect is staff members trying to put words in my mouth. My main points in the argument were the fact that it was hard for me to support the game where not only was I being watched all the time, but also where majority of staff members were pretty much against me. I don't want to justify my actions back then, because some of the comments I made they are just very wrong, and in some aspects I was definitely in the wrong, but never did I make fun of devs directly. So, what came out of this argument? Well, I was basically told that my content creator role within Discord would get removed, and that I would most likely not get into the content creator program that devs were planning to add at the time. And that's pretty much it. It started pretty heavy, but it ended pretty quickly. However, what I did not know at the time were the things that were going between staff team regarding my situation. I was talking to someone when suddenly I brought the topic of me getting banned, the IHA incident, which in response I got more information about the May 2021 incident. That the only reason why I wasn't banned was because of some moderator plotting against the server. Apparently, while there was drama between me and staff, there was like a TDS moderator trying to plot against the server, so they focused on that and forgot about me. What I've also learned was that while there was drama, there was apparently a staff poll discussing the removal of my content creator role. Staff members basically voted yes or no if they want to remove my content creator role. If they voted yes, it was fine, but if they voted no, they had to explain why my role should be kept. After some asking around, I found out that allegedly there was also a poll discussing me being banned. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that poll existed. The only people who can confirm that are current staff members. After learning about that information about that ban poll, apparent ban poll, I asked one of my older friends at the time if they remember the situation, and I asked them if there were any thoughts within staff team about banning me, which I was replied with, I already told you, there was. Now I'm not sure if that was a poll about the ban from content creator program or if it was a ban from the Discord server itself, but from the info I've gathered, I'm led to believe it was a Discord server ban. If that's incorrect, feel free to correct me and don't matter. Please. Thankfully, nothing ever happened. If it wasn't for some random moderator plotting against the server, there is a high chance that something could have happened. So yeah, that was pretty close. And as I mentioned at the start, I don't want to spread any misinformation, nor do I want you guys to harass anyone, but if someone has clear info of what exactly happened back then, I will correct it and clear things up in probably a pinned comment or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There was no more drama after this, so yeah, see ya guys in the next video.